Hey there, fellow YouTubers, Max here. I figured I'd do another XX, or another vlog of Max, a short one, to basically discuss what I thought of last night's AGT semifinals episode, what acts I liked, what acts I didn't like, and of course give my picks of the top 5 this week. And some of you are probably saying right now, top 5 isn't usually top 4. And yes, usually it is top 4 acts go through, but this week it's 5 acts, and then next week it'll be 5 acts when the rest of the semifinals happen. So yeah, first off, I'd like to say that I very much enjoyed America's Got Talent last night. It's one of the best episodes that's happened on the show so far as I'm concerned. And of course, there were some really good acts. There were some acts that weren't that good. Melissa Villasenor, one of my favorites, she did amazing last night. I love how she did stand up in her routine, which means she took my advice, because I had suggested that she had stand up to the routine, and she mixed the stand up with her impressions and went together really well, and she did a really great job. And yeah, so basically I figured I'd start off by mentioning the acts that I didn't like so much. And basically the acts that I didn't like that much were Beth Ann Robinson, the Sando Trio Russian Bar, Kevin Colas, and Matt Wilhelm. And I'll basically start off by saying why I didn't like Beth Ann Robinson's performance. It was a pretty good performance, don't get me wrong, it was a pretty good performance, so please don't get all pissed off that for me saying that to all you Beth Ann Robinson fans out there. But frankly, I didn't think it was as good as last week's performance. I mean, last week's performance, or the last time she was on anyway, she really stepped it up and stuff like that, and it just felt like this time she didn't really step it up. Like, she didn't do anything that was overly impressive, and her dance in general just didn't seem all that interesting to me this time around. I'm not saying she's not a great dancer, she is a great dancer, but her dance wasn't that great last night. And to be honest, I don't really see Beth Ann Robinson making it to the semifinals, even if she does make it to making it all the way to the top 3 or top 4 in the finals, even if she does make it on to the finals tonight. Because personally, I don't think it's a $1 million act. I mean, is she a great dancer? Yes, but it just doesn't seem like a $1 million act to me, type of thing. So yeah, and then of course there was the worst act of the night, the Sando Trio Russian Bar, and there was another number of reasons why they were the worst act of the night. First off, they changed up their act, which with some acts it works, some acts it doesn't work, but with them it really didn't work, because basically their act originally was the Russian bar. The one girl was on the middle of the bar. It would go up and down and up and down. She'd do flips and stuff like that. And they added fire, I think, to it underneath her the last time, which made a little bit of a danger element. But this time, instead of sticking with the Russian bar, which they normally do and are great at, they decided to change it up to basically one guy doing acrobatics while the girl of their group basically did a little singing performance. She played piano. She played piano upside down, which is something I've never seen before. And yeah, this would have been a great act except for one thing. The girl in the Sando Trio Russian Bar, I don't know exactly what her name is, but she basically can't sing for shit, and that's why I didn't like it, people. If she could have sang, it would have been the best act, but yeah. And I gotta say, I honestly agree with what Pierce said about them last night. It was suicide to change up their act. Yes, I can understand they wanted to show that there was more to them than just the Russian bar act, but that's the act that made them famous in the first place. They should have stuck with that. I'm sure they could have made it just as interesting as the last couple of times. But yeah, it's basically the worst act of the night because they basically ruined their act by changing it up. Kevin Colas, why I didn't like his act last night, was mainly for one reason. Tonight, unlike before he sounded amazing. It was a great song choice and a great song. But last night, he sounded like he was out of tune. Like he was seriously out of tune, out of key. Don't know what you want to call it, but he just sounded like he was out of tune, and it just ruined the whole performance, him sounding out of tune. So I hope if he does make it on that he does a better job. I don't think he will, but if he does make it on, I hope he does a better job in the next round and keeps himself in key and whatnot like that. And then of course there was Matt Wilhelm, which although I did enjoy his act last night for the most part, it wasn't nearly as good as his debut act, the one that he basically used in his very first audition after coming from the YouTube auditions. So he might make it on tonight, but if he does, he's really going to have to up it quite a bit. His performance is good, just wasn't as good as the last one. Oh, and while I think of it, another surprising development happened last night. For those of you who watch my vlogs, you'll have noticed that in a couple of my vlogs, or at least in one of them anyway, I was basically putting down Daniel Joseph Baker, and I was saying how I thought he was a good singer, but not a great singer. And the reason I was basically putting him down was because of the fact he kept doing Lady Gaga. Every week it was Lady Gaga, Lady Gaga, Lady Gaga. And not only did it get boring and tiring after a while that he kept doing Lady Gaga, but it just made his act less interesting to watch, and that's one of the main reasons I hated him. And because he kept doing Lady Gaga, and I wanted him to do a different song. Not a Lady Gaga song, but another song other than Lady Gaga that would basically prove that he had what it takes to be a singer. And surprisingly enough, last night, he actually did the one thing I've been hoping he would do this whole time. He did a song by some artist named Adele. I don't really know her music that well or anything like that. He did a song by her. It was a great song choice. He did amazing at it. He did amazing at the song. His performance was amazing. It was his best performance that he's done since being on the show, in my personal opinion. I loved his outfit. That guy had a great outfit last night. It was way better than the ones he wore for his previous performances. And some of you may be surprised that I'm praising Daniel Joseph Baker, but mainly that's because I can now say that I have become a Daniel Joseph Baker fan, or a DJB fan, after last night. And the reason I'm now a Daniel Joseph Baker fan is simply because the guy finally did what I've been hoping he'd do this whole entire time. He did a song that wasn't a Lady Gaga song, thus proving that he has what it takes to be a truly talented and amazing singer, proving that he wasn't a one-trick pony, and for that he not only gained my respect, but he has a new fan in me. So yes, I am a Daniel Joseph Baker fan. I wasn't originally, mainly because he was doing Lady Gaga songs, and I apologize for all those fellow YouTubers I offended by not being a fan of his before. But you can kind of understand my reasoning. When somebody does only one song, songs by only one artist every time they perform, it basically is like saying they're not that great of a performer, because a singer has to be able to variety it up a little bit, as they say, like basically do songs by different artists to prove that they're an actual singer. If they can't do that, they're not a talented singer. If they can, then I pay homage to them because they are a true sinner. So Mr. Daniel Joseph Baker, you have gained a fan in me. I am a fan of yours now. Though, personally, I gotta say, if in the event that it does come down to you and Melissa Villaseñor, I'm basically gonna have to go with Melissa Villaseñor. Not only because I'm a big fan of hers, but because I really like her stand-up and her impressions, and I want to see her make it to the finals. So even though I am a fan of yours, I'm gonna have to go with Melissa V. It's nothing, if it comes down to you and her, it's nothing personal. It's just that I'm a huge fan of hers, and I just became a fan of yours. So hopefully it doesn't come down to you too, because if it doesn't, I'll definitely be hoping you pull through and get to the next round. But if it does, I'll be hoping that Melissa V makes it through over you. But yeah, Melissa V's performance, like I said before, great performance. I was really proud of you, Melissa V, that you had the stand-up element. You made me laugh my head off. I hope America sees your talent and votes you through to the finals, because I really do not want to see you go home. So to those of you in America, I'm hoping enough of you vote for Melissa Villaseñor, and please vote for her, because I do not want to see her go home. She's an amazing talent, and she's the best comedian on that show, and she deserves to be there. So please, I hope some of you, and more importantly, enough of you will vote to keep her on the show. And more importantly, I'm hoping that she doesn't end up where she was the last time she was on the show, the results show, where it was down to the judges. Because when it was down to the judges the last time she was on the show, I was really worried that Melissa Villaseñor was going to get taken off the show, because two of the judges weren't going to vote for her. She was lucky enough to make it through that time, because her performance wasn't that great. I love her performances, but her last one wasn't as good as her usual one. But if you don't make it through, Melissa, I just want to say you're already a star. I know that you will make it big someday, even if you don't win America's Got Talent, so don't give up. I hope you won't give up anyway, because you're a really great impressionist. You're really cute and pretty and all that stuff, and you just make me smile every time you perform, and I always love your performances. But yeah, I loved Pop Life. They did a performance of the classic Beatles song "Come Together," and the thing I love most about this is mainly because of the fact that it was interesting to see a girl singer sing a Beatles song, because I had never heard a female singer sing a Beatles song before, and it was interesting. And she did the lead singer of Pop Life, not sure what her name is off the top of my head, but she did a really amazing job singing the song. Her band, the rest of her band, did a really great job doing the background vocals and playing their instruments. And Pop Life, I hope you get voted through too. But yeah, anyway, as far as the other acts go, Team Illuminate was amazing. Their act, it was really great, and at the same time it wasn't that great. It was kind of iffy. And yeah, and of course, as I already said, Daniel Joseph Baker, he had an amazing performance last night, and I'm now a fan of his. Miami All-Stars, amazing act. I like how they change it up and do different dance styles every time. And last night, I think, was Swing, and it was to a classic song. Can't remember what the song was, but and then of course you have Lise Agnes. Sorry if I pronounced your name, Miss Agnes. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, to be honest. But yeah, she had a great song choice and a great performance last night. She, of course, sung an opera version of the classic Evanescence song "Bring Me to Life," and normally I wasn't sure if that would sound great as an opera song, but it actually did. And I know, not that she's one of the 5 that I chose to make it on, but if she does make it on, I'm honestly hoping she does that song "My Immortal" by Evanescence, because I think that would make another great song turned into an opera type song by her. because of the way the lyrics are for My Immortal. It would make a great opera song if she wanted to do that next, and it would be a great song for her to perform in the finals if she does make it to the finals. But anyway, now that I've said the acts that I liked and disliked, I'll move on to, of course, the acts that I want to make it through. The acts that I want to make it through to the next round, to the finals of AGT. And they're in no particular order, like, they are my top 5, but they're in no particular order by the way I list them. But anyway, Pop Life, I would like to see them make it through. Really great band, really great performers. One of the best bands on the show, well, next to Avery and the Calico Hearts, but they're no longer on the show, but they were one of the best bands on the show when they were on the show. And of course, West Springfield Dance Team did a great performance last night. I'm really hoping they make it on. Love to see what they do next with their whole horror-themed dance troupe thing. And then, of course, Melissa Villaseñor. Not only because I'm a huge fan, but because I love her performances, so I'm hoping she makes it on tonight. And I'll be really disappointed if she doesn't make it on tonight, because I'm a huge fan of hers and I don't want to see her leave AGT. But even in the event that she does get voted off, which hopefully doesn't happen, because hopefully enough Americans vote for her and see that she has really great talent and that she's really funny and stuff like that, and that enough people vote for her and vote her through. But even if they don't, Melissa V, you're going to be a star someday. It may not happen right away, but you're going to be a big name star. And who knows, one of these days you'll have a headlining act in Las Vegas or somewhere else. You'll be able to quit your job at the department store where you work, which I actually find it interesting that you work at a department store, but actually kind of cool. Must be interesting working at a department store and somebody comes in and you could do like different impressions while you're helping them out and make them laugh, which must really make their day. Team I Illuminate, can't wait to see what you do next. You're, of course, number 4, my number 4th choice. I hope you make it on, because I really want to see what you do next, and you guys are absolutely amazing. And Daniel Joseph Baker, I never thought I'd be hoping that you would be in my, I never thought that you'd be in my top 5, nor did I ever think that you would basically become a fan of yours, but you have of course made a fan out of me. I really hope you make it through to the next round of AGT, because last night you proved you weren't a one-trick pony, you proved you were a real singer, and for that I am a fan of yours through and through now. So I hope you make it through. But if it's down to Melissa V and you, I gotta go with Melissa V. It's nothing personal, I just gotta go with her, because she's my favorite act on the whole show, pretty much. Well, one of my favorite acts on the whole show. Not really sure who will be the next in line to be my all-time favorite act on the show if Melissa gets voted off, but I'll put some thought into that in the event that it does happen. But anyway, those are basically my picks. Pop Life, West Springfield Dance Team, Melissa Villaseñor, or wait a second, I should start that over. Okay, my picks were Pop Life, let's see, West Springfield Dance Team, Melissa Villaseñor, Team I Illuminate, and Daniel Joseph Baker. Those are my picks that I hope to get through. And considering the fact I've been pretty lucky with the picks, 2 or 3 of my picks might make it through, and see how lucky my picks are. And yeah, basically, I guess I'll just end this vlog because it's went on longer than I thought it would. I didn't think it would go on for close to 20 minutes, but it has. But anyway, it'll probably be longer than 20 minutes once I add in the intro and ending credits. But this is another XX vlog of Max, mini vlog of Max. It's not a XX vlog of Max. I will be doing my next one probably tomorrow for the results. I'll be doing number 26. Oh, and while I think of it, I just wanted to apologize For my last vlog, vlog number 25, the last XX vlogs and Max I did with my nephew Dylan, the sound was kind of iffy in that, and I didn't really notice it at first. Until I uploaded it to my computer, I didn't really notice it. The sound came out kind of iffy, and I apologize for that. Usually the sound comes out really good on my mini Polaroid video camcorder, like you've seen with the other two videos I posted of my nephew. The sound usually comes out great. For some reason the sound didn't come out really great on that one. But anyway, this has been a small little vlog of Max. I'm Max Callan. See you on the flip side. Hoping all my pics get through on AGT, and hope you all have a great day. Later, people.